2009. The dark-haired teen sat on the bed. He looked around. Posters of teen boy bands on the walls, a pink bedspread, books on the shelves talking about vampires and humans, a typical teenager's room. As he heard the sobbing from the bathroom, he reached over and picked up a book from the nightstand. A diary. He started flipping through it. Mostly typical stuff. But Amy also wrote about him a lot. About meeting the dark-haired teen. About them being together, about her wanting to end it all. He shut the book and got up. He walked over and opened the bathroom door. Amy lay in the tub. She seemed serious. Several empty pill bottles were scattered around her. Also, blood was everywhere. Dozens of cuts, mostly shallow, some deeper as she tried to work up the courage to actually get deep enough. At the sound of the door, she jumped, turning to face him. "Who are you?" she asked, panicked. The teen sighed, kneeling down against the wall. "You can tell me. You called me." She blinked a couple times, then he saw understanding hit her. Her eyes teared up. The teen held up the diary. "This isn't how it is. It's not romantic. It's not beautiful. It is the end of a story. Your story." The teen sighed. "Is that really what you want? To never see your friends again? To have your light die out?" I don't," Amy said. "Are you mad? I thought this was what you did." The teen shook his head. "I meet everyone eventually, and when I do, I want to hear a good story." The teen smiled. "Accomplishments, joy, differences made, happiness, disappointment, everything life has to offer." The teen stood. "You are right on the line. Stay or go." He watched her, tears streaming down her face. "Stay," she said. The teen nodded, kneeling to her. He grabbed her hands. "I'm not much of a healer. I can only do so much." Her cuts closed. The teen gritted his teeth. "You've done damage. A lot," he said, gesturing to the pill bottles. "You have 5 years. That's it. Until tonight catches up with you." The teen stood. Amy looked up, tears in her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. The teen shook his head. "Make it worth it." 2014. 4 a.m. The dark-haired teen strolled down the hospital corridor. He stopped at room 209 and slowly let himself in. Amy lay, surrounded by flowers, balloons, cards. He looked around, pictures of all over the world, her volunteering in poor villages, her helping the homeless. In one picture, she nervously smiled as she donated blood. He stood quietly by her bed. Slowly she stirred, waking up. She saw him and immediately smiled. "Hey," she whispered. "I knew I'd see you again." The dark-haired teen took her hand. He smiled back. "How was it?" "Wonderful," she sighed. She looked up at him. "Thank you for giving me a chance." The teen nodded. "You're welcome. But now it is time." "I know," said Amy, "and I'm ready." The teen reached out and helped Amy out of bed. The circle of light formed behind them. "So, what was the best part?" the dark-haired teen asked as they neared the light. "What made your story so great?" The smiles, she said, beaming. The people I helped, how happy they were. The teen wrapped his arm around her as they walked to the light. You've done good. You've earned your rest.